What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. So the topic that we'll be discussing this live stream today is in regards to the Valuetainment Money podcast, where they're basically discussing body count. So what we're basically going to do is that we're going to watch a little clip from their live stream that they held a couple of days ago, and then from there I'm going to give you all my thoughts on it. So let's get into this video.
Phrase that maybe is not exactly the most endearing. However, you've told a guy how many partners you've been with.
Yeah, we're all human, so we all have these, needs and wants. And I've always been honest. Anytime the topic comes up, which I always kind of hope it doesn't, with one partner, an Israeli guy that I dated for a while, it turned into like a 2-week long argument.
Oh God, what happened?
Why? Because he just.
Hold on. I'm gonna pause it right now, real quick, and I'm basically gonna give you my thoughts off of the first few words that she said. I don't know if y'all were listening properly, but if you listen to what she said, what she basically said was she hopes that that topic doesn't come up, right? And this is one thing that y'all gotta understand about women, bro. Especially women that were brought up and raised in the West. Not all, but majority. They're going to go through a 403 phase. If you don't know what a 403 phase is, go into a calculator, type in 403, and flip it upside down. You'll know what I'm talking about. The point is that majority of women are going to go through that 403 phase where they're going to want to try different experiences. And the thing you have to understand is that when they try different experiences, more likely than not, it's going to increase their body count. So with that being said, you as the man have to make the decision on whether you're going to take a woman seriously, depending on her body count, depending on if she's feminine to you, if she's submissive, if she can cook and clean for you, right? This is the one thing we got to understand in our society. We as men, we don't come with a lot of expectations when it comes to dealing with women. But when we do come with expectations, we're basically saying that, or the society, through women mainly, will try to shame us for our expectations. Will try to shame us for our standards, right? I don't think that there's anything wrong in a man basically saying that he wants a woman with a low body count, right? A man is not going to, a woman is going to shame a man for saying that he wants a woman with a low body count. But when a woman comes out and says that she wants a man that's 6 feet tall, is making over $100,000 a year, nobody bats an eye to it. Nobody challenges her on that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Men want certain things, women want certain things. And I think everybody in this situation should be respected for what they want and should move accordingly. So let's continue into this video. All right.
Just kept asking more and more questions.
Was the number high? That's why he wanted to know. Was it someone that you'd slept with? Do you want to know more about that specific one? So what are you willing to say?
Like they don't know. I don't love talking about body counts, but I think it was because I was in a time in my life where, and this is a little painful to talk about, but like a lot of women experience this where they're navigating sexuality and they end up having a bad experience and then they jump back into that world and they're not really taking care of themselves. And in some cases, I think it's even self-harm. So for me, like, I would say there was a time in my life where my body count was getting a little bit higher than I necessarily needed it to be. So he kept prying, and it just wasn't something I wanted to discuss, So.
When you said you weren't taking care of yourself, how do you mean?
I think
physically, emotionally, mentally. What do you mean?
Well, I think when you share your body with another person, it takes a huge toll. Whether that's, a toll is usually negative, but like it has an effect on you, whether negative or positive. So I think a lot of women experiment with sexuality, and it becomes kind of like a self-soothe.
Okay. So that was majority of the video that we basically got in contact with. So let's really talk about the situation here, right? The one thing that we got to understand is that, like she said multiple times, she doesn't feel comfortable talking about it as much, but I do respect her to an extent for at least getting into the conversation. The one thing that we got to understand is that when this topic is being discussed, a lot of women they get scared to talk about it because it's an uncomfortable truth. But like I said before, women have certain things that they expect out of men, just the same way that men have certain things that they expect out of women. The reason it became a 2-week long argument with her boyfriend, like she was talking about, is because men are visual creatures to an extent, right? We pay attention to the way you look, we pay attention to how you act and all of that. So if you're in that situation and you're dealing with a man and you're not respecting that man, or not even only in regards to respecting him, but you're in a situation with him where you know that he's probably going to ask you what your body count is. You have to understand that even if you go through a time where one relationship didn't work, you want to put yourself in the position to learn from that mistake. What women tend to do generally is that if one relationship doesn't work out well, they tend to turn to the streets. And then when they turn to the streets, they think that it's going to be so easy for you to be, or so easy for them to be able to be in a situation where they can be in the streets for like about a good 10 years. Then when they're in their 30s, they want somebody to come and wife them up. It's like, why would I wife you up when there's a younger woman who is a lot more feminine, a lot more submissive, is more of a traditional woman that actually wants to contribute some sort of value to my life? Because let's really talk about it, right? A lot of women are going to come into your life and are going to have the mentality of, what are you going to do for me? Instead of asking themselves in their brain, how can I try to become the best wife to this man? Or how can I try to become the best woman to this man so that he can make me a wife? The thing you have to understand is that we live in a society now where women want the title of girlfriend, women want the title of wife, but they're not ready to put in the work. And even if you do grant them that title, especially without them putting in the work, they're not going to respect you later on down the road. They're going to treat you with disrespect. They're going to shame you. They're going to make you feel like you're less than who you really are meant to be. Because the thing is that we as men, we're not brought up in a masculine world. We're taught to be feminine, beta, simp manginas. And then when you stand up upon masculinity, they call you toxic. So you as a person have to really start to see the truth for the way it truly is. You move accordingly. Don't get pissed off. Don't get mad. It is what it is. But the reality of the situation is that you as a man, you have to stand upon your standards. You feel what I'm saying? If you do not learn how to stand upon your standards, you're basically trying to say that people can come into your life and disrespect you, and that's not going to go. So let's use this video as a reminder that women, you have to understand your sexual past matters. Most men, I'm not going to say all men, I will say at least 95% of the male population, they don't want a woman with a past. Or worst case scenario, if you do have a past, let it be minimal. Let it be minimal, seriously. If you go through one relationship and that relationship doesn't work well, you have to understand that with you having intercourse with multiple people, you're incorporating a lot of energy, whether you realize it or whether you don't. Same thing with y'all men. You have to understand that a lot of people in this world that we're living in possess, whether they realize it or whether they're not, right? So that's whether you're conscious of it. You possess a lot of demonic energy. So when you start sleeping with that person, and then from there, negative things start to happen 5 days later, a month later, 2 months later, a year later, it's because of all that demonic energy that you literally incorporated from sleeping with that person. I'm telling y'all, real talk. There is a sacred energy exchange when you have sexual intercourse with the person, whether it be a man or a woman. You have to really be careful who you give your energy to. It's so vital to success, right? It's not every single person that you find attractive that you have to sleep with. You have to really start to pay attention. What type of value is that person providing to your life, and what type of energy do they possess? If they don't possess positive energy, stay away from them. If they possess positive energy, go as close as you can to them. But you really have to be careful who you give your sexual energy to, as well as your regular energy, because people are just here to steal your energy. They're not here to provide any sort of value, and they want to frustrate you. That's why when you leave your house, you really ask yourself, right? What's it called? Why is this person being so rude to me or mean to me? The reality of the situation is that you have to understand, once you leave the comfort of your home, you're in spiritual warfare. There are a lot of people out there that are masked just like myself with, not that I'm saying I'm masked, but I'm just saying that I'm masked with the physical features. But spiritually, they're dead. Spiritually, they're demonic. Spiritually, they're being possessed by Satan and his demonic forces. You don't know what type of energy that these people have. That's why it takes you, one of the woke members of the Most High. You have to have the ability to be able to vet someone out. Pay attention to their attitude. Pay attention to their mood. Pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to how they say it. Pay attention to their body language. All of those things are going to reveal to you whether you should be close to that person or not. If it's negative, stay away from that person. If it's positive, then you can get close to that person. But you really, really, really have to value the energy that you possess. Because a lot of people out here are not happy for you. A lot of people here don't want to see you succeed. So if you start engaging in things that are not going to help you to become the greatest version of yourself, you're wasting your time, unfortunately. Therefore, you got to value your energy. Understand this one thing. Both woke members of the Most High, woke members of the Most High, whether you're a man or you're a woman, body count definitely matters. I would say that in a man's case, it's a little bit less because even if we were to go back to biblical times, it was the man that was having intercourse with the most women that was seen as the most valuable, right? Whereas a woman, if you had intercourse with multiple men, you were seen as a whore or a hoe or a thought. The reality of the situation is that men and women are not equal, right? There are certain standards that benefit men that do not benefit women. Especially here in the States, the only one that benefits a man is just the fact that he can have intercourse with multiple women and not get judged. Women, if you do that, you're going to get judged. If you have an OnlyFans, you're going to get judged. If you're on the hub, you're going to get judged. If you have a SEX tape and people see it, aka it getting leaked, you're going to get judged. You have to understand when you allow yourself to be in a precautious situation like that, you're basically telling the whole world you're not wife material. People might, because this is the problem. Let's really talk about it, right? The situation is that women tend to conflate sexual attraction with long-term attraction. What do I mean by long-term attraction? Whether the man wants to be with you long-term. If a man sees that you have a past and it's visible for the whole world to see, he's not going to take you seriously. And let's say for the situation he does take you seriously, he's going to constantly think about the fact that other dudes literally had intercourse with you, bro. So it's going to be very, very hard for him to take you seriously. If he does, he's probably not going to. Women, you have to learn and understand that a man that wants to have intercourse with you is not always the man that wants to wife you up. So a woman might be in a 10-year-long relationship, a 5-year-long relationship, be 30 years old, but wonder why she's not getting proposed to. Remember, women, your goal is to be able to get that man to marry you. If he doesn't put that ring on your finger and take you to a church to get you married, or not even only taking you to a church, but making sure that you get what you want in marriage, he's not serious about you. And women and men, I'm going to say this to you as well too. If she's not cooking for you, because that's a requirement. I don't care what anybody says. If you're dealing with a chick and she's not cooking for you, she's not meant for you. If she's not cooking for you, if she's not being feminine and submissive to you, if she's not showing you genuine interest, which is basically to me as high interest, right? Because there's different levels. You got medium interest and then you got high interest. Difference between medium and high interest is medium interest. A girl might show you a little bit of interest, but she still wants you to pursue. A woman that has high interest in you is ready to almost do all the work in order to be able to keep you long term because she sees your value. You don't have to prove it to her. You guys should only try to, especially men, y'all should only try to deal with women that have high interest in you. If you're dealing with a chick and she does not have high interest in you, leave her alone. Deal with women that have high interest in you only. Some might say, "Oh, that's going to decrease the amount of women that I'm going to mess with." If that's the case, let it be. You shouldn't be spending all your time focusing on women. In my opinion, I believe you should be focusing more on your purpose. I'm telling you right now, in order for you to become part of the top 20% of men, you have to perfect one of the 5 areas in your life: mental, spiritual, emotional, financial, and physical, or physical. If you can master one of those 5, you're in the top 20%. If you can master 2 out of those 5, you're in the top 10%. If you master 3 or more, top 5%. You feel what I'm saying? So that is what should matter to you more. Women are just a byproduct, but you got to put in the work for you to self-improve first. Once you put in the work, the women are going to come. You're going to be putting in so much work towards you getting more money, towards you getting into better shape, towards you getting a better physique. You're going to wonder, wow, where are all these women coming from? You post a post on Instagram, not exposing all your business, but probably to promote your, well, that sounds kind of, but I'm saying, when I say promote, talk about your business, I'm talking about exposing what's going on in your personal life. But if you promote your business, then women are going to start wanting to become more of your clients, wanting to talk to you, you feel what I'm saying? Wondering where's all this coming from. But that's God blessing you with women coming into your life. But this is the difference I'll say. Out of probably 10 men that will come into a woman's life, only 2 out of those 10 men probably want to actually take you seriously and want to propose to you and get married to you. But all those other 8 dudes, all they want to do is have intercourse with you. They want to sleep with you. So you have to be smart as a woman and see the truth of the way it truly is. But in a situation for like myself and other men, 95%, out of 10 women that will come into my life, anywhere between 6 to 8 of those women, right? I said 8 at most. 6 to 8 of those women want me to make them a wife, want me to take them seriously. Because the thing is that even if a woman tries to come out and say that she can have intercourse without getting attached, she can only do it for so long. It's not biologically in her nature. Whereas a man, if he wants to do that, he can definitely do it for as long as he wants to do it. Because men, well, I'm going to say masculine men more, tend not to really attach their emotions to having sexual intercourse with a woman. Me personally, I'll be honest, I don't attach my emotions as well too. But what I will say though is that if I'm having intercourse with you, it's more towards to build something, right? I don't personally want to be in the streets. I don't believe like that's just for me personally, right? Because I told you, I value that energy exchange. I honestly believe that you really have to be careful who you give your sexual energy to, because the thing is that you have a lot of not only women but certain men as well too here that are demonically, that have some type of demonic spirit in them. And if you don't really pay attention to who you give your sexual energy to, you're allowing evil things to happen in your life, and I don't want that in my life, 100%. So I'm really careful who I give my sexual energy to. What I will say at the same time as well too is that we as people really have to be careful who we engage with, who we give our sexual energy to. You really have to be careful because it's so important. There's just so many things that are going on in the world right now that you really have to start to focus on how you can become better, how you can help more people, how you can really focus on your purpose, right? You do these things and you stay focused, nobody can literally stop you. You're going to become unstoppable. So just keep your head tucked, keep grinding, keep making yourself to become greater, and understand that you are going to get judged as a man. You are going to get judged as a woman. The world does not owe you understanding. So with that being said, you have to use it as an opportunity to self-improve, to be able to make your life better. And people around you, you make their lives better as much as you possibly can. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is going to be this live stream. If you like this live stream, if you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at WokeEbucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so will social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. Without further ado, this is going to be end of this live stream. This is WokeEbucks, and I'm out, man.